I was about, I don't know, 12 or 13, and I started experimenting, with weed and alcohol and hang out with the cool kids.
I just wanted to have a good time, and that's how it all started. I just wanted to have fun, and it started with drinking and smoking pot when I was 12.
I was 14 the first time that I tried crystal meth.
The more things that happened in my life, and the more I had to be ashamed of, and the more I had to feel guilty of, and just the worse it got.
I had made my foundation on a man. He said, "Let's go." I said, "Okay." He said, "Jump." I said, "How high?" That was my foundation, and he wanted to move back to Redding, and so I said, "Okay, let's go." And our disease picked up again, and he ended up catching a charge and going to prison for a very long time. A month before he was released from prison, he decided that he didn't want to be with me anymore. So my foundation had crumbled, and I was lost, completely lost, and my disease took off full force.
At some point, the drinking and smoking weed turned into dropping acid and eating mushrooms, and then that turned into cocaine, which turned into methamphetamines, and then eventually I found heroin. And between the meth and the heroin, my life took a pretty steep downward spiral.
I was selling to maintain my personal supply, and I got pulled over, and I had a large amount of meth on me, and I got charged with transportation and possession for sales. I was in Shasta County Jail for 4 months, waiting to go to court, waiting to be sentenced, and the jail got full, and I got released. 3 months later, I was busted again, and remanded and sentenced to prison. You're mandated to do treatment after your prison term. So my counselor had pulled me in and said, you're gonna go to Empire.
Went to detox at the Empire, and I don't know what happened. I don't know what was different. I've tried to quit thousands of times, so many times I've tried, and I always thought of rehab as this place where you go and you just abstain from using drugs and alcohol for 30, 60, or 90 days, and then when you get out, you're better because you have this time away from drugs and alcohol, but that's not how it works. That's why it's never worked for me before, that's not how it works. You actually have to listen to what they tell you when you're in there.
I remember telling her, meetings aren't for me. I'll do everything else this program has to offer, but I don't want to do your meetings. And she's all, well, it's a requirement if you want to get a home visit, if you want to get a pass.
What really helped me while I was there, and I didn't know it was helping me because I had no intentions of doing this when I got out, was the meetings. It made me go to Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous meetings. My friends would tell me, you go to get a sponsor and work your steps, and that sounded like the dumbest idea ever, but one day, I had the greatest idea ever, and I got this idea to get a sponsor and work the steps, and once it became my idea, I couldn't find one fast enough.
I had done so much growth in just 90 days. I went from that place of, I don't want recovery, I don't want a program, I don't want to do this, to, I want to do this.
Thousands have made that transition from addiction to recovery through Empire Recovery Center. Empire Recovery offers a path to recovery starting with a safe and effective residential non-medical detoxification program, which is a necessary first step toward recovery. This stage of recovery includes peer support, nutritious meals, and lots of encouragement. After detoxification, patients are encouraged to follow through on a path to full recovery with further treatment. One option can be a 30, 60, or 90-day residential treatment program. The process of treatment is one of discovery and sets a firm foundation that allows participants to empower themselves and become responsible for their own recovery. Another option for treatment is done through outpatient services with tools such as individual and group counseling, motivational interviewing, as well as referrals to other community programs to reinforce the skills learned during the residential program and give them the tools to succeed for a lifetime.
I don't want to ever live in a creek bed again.
And I'm coming up on 8 years. And my life is amazing.
I've had cops tell me they're proud of me. The district attorney, he came out of the court and congratulated me and told me to keep up the good work and that he was proud for what I had accomplished.
I'm really grateful that I had the opportunity to come to Empire, because that showed me that, I can do things with support.
Looking back on, it's made my life amazing, Like, every opportunity you get, you try your hardest to do the right thing, and even if it's uncomfortable, and your life just gets better. I have a bank account, a driver's license, a truck, a job, a really nice house that I rent, not own. But I have a separate bank account for my bills because I'm in a savings account with money in it right now, like things that I've never had before, you know what I mean? I pay all my bills on time. All I can see is everything just keeps getting better.
For me, this is where I began to build the foundation for my new life. I feel forever in debt to Empire, for giving me the ability to do something different with my life.
Empire is your path to recovery. For more information, call or visit empirerecoverycenter.org.